All right, what's up, guys? We're gonna try something new today. We're gonna do a little like XCFL style around the horn, and since it's a learning experience, we're gonna start out and give everybody 45 seconds to answer random questions, and we'll randomly assign points and just kind of see how this thing goes and how it evolves. I'm sure the first episode to the fifth will get wild, but today joining me we have JMO.
What's up, fellas?
We got Nick Larson, the commish.
What's going on, boys?
We got Robert Morlock of the Bills.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
And Higgy of the Broncos.
What's up, guys?
So we'll just we'll kind of just go through that order, and then to start the second question, we'll just have Nick lead it off and kind of just go like that.
Cool.
All right. So first question here. You'll start it off, JMO. Who is the best user in the XCFL / who has the most impressive resume overall?
Well, fellas, this one's an easy one. We're gonna have to go with Josh on this one. To Nick's chagrin, Josh has been constantly destroyed in chat for always taking the best teams and needing the best teams to win and blah blah blah. This year he had picked 26 or something. He took the Jets in a division with VBD, who's also an excellent user. Great division overall, and this dude is destroying it with what we would all consider a subpar team. He has the complete resume from top to bottom his whole career. It's Josh, 100%, no doubt.
Nice, got it in on time. Nick, your thoughts?
I'm gonna go with. I thought for a second about Tosh, but hasn't been around long enough. So I'm gonna say Brent. Brent not only is one of the better team builders as far as trading, he is kind of known for taking a good team like Josh. But 4 Super Bowls, he's up there tied with Josh for the lead. He's beat some pretty good users in the Super Bowl. You know, he's beat Doss, he's beat Jack, he's won on 3 different Maddens. I don't really know if you can argue that because it's hard to. Each game's different, you know, and he shows up and plays and has the second best winning percentage in the league behind Tosh, career winning percentage. So I'm going to say Brent.
Okay, Rob.
Well, I mean, I'm fairly new to the league, but I mean, Regan to me was kind of my mentor coming in. Got a chance to play with him in M19. He won a Super Bowl. He had a team that was extremely competitive year in and year out. He's got the Ravens again this year, which is his home team. And, I mean, he's in a tough division with Tosh and Jared. But, I mean, the guy keeps finding ways to squeak into the playoffs. And sooner or later, he's going to do some damage. It might not be this year, but he will. So, Regan's kind of the guy, I think.
I wish you guys could hear my soundboard because I definitely gave you a bunch of minus points for Regan. Higgy, what do you got?
Well, for the sake of just picking somebody different, I think I'm gonna have to go with Jack. Just his knowledge and his scheme. I mean, when I came into the league, he was one of the guys that I really paid a whole lot of attention to because, I mean, he was winning and he was winning consistently. And I really paid attention to what he was doing. And, he helped me out a little bit when I had asked him questions and stuff. And I think he's got the resume. He's won a couple of Super Bowls, I think. So I think that's who I'm going to go with.
Okay, and you said for the sake of the show, not picking the same. Who would you go with, real quick? If
I had to go just strictly off resume, I'd have to go with Josh, just because of how many Super Bowls he's tied for the most, and he's won the most recent one. And
I got you.
And like it was like J-Mo already said, I mean, he picked the Jets, which weren't really that impressive of a team, and what he's done with them, and to win now, that's pretty impressive.
Josh also took the Falcons, that was a loaded roster, and didn't win a Super Bowl. And missed the playoffs multiple times last Madden.
I also want to say Brent beat me in the Super Bowl, and you left that out, Nick.
I said good news.
That was a great
user. Nick, with that, who's the worst user of XCFL based off their whole their track record from the time they get in here, not including like user content or anything, team building and gameplay.
Oh man, I hate to say it. I'm gonna say Sean. I
Woo.
love the kid. I love the kid. He's been here forever. But when you, out of your 20-some seasons in the league, you've led league in picks almost all except for maybe 2 of them. There's just it's got to be Sean. I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna go Sean for sure here. You'd think after a little while he'd figure it out, but he's still struggling, hobbling along there. No disrespect, but it just, I mean, you look at the career winning percentage, it's been a rough couple of seasons, and he takes the Kansas City Chiefs this cycle and still can't put it together. So,
Rob,
I'm gonna say Sean.
what do you got?
Well, guys, I'm going to pick myself. I mean, you know, he mentioned Sean, and Sean actually, you know, in 2 drafts has nailed 2 X factors, so he's starting to slowly sneak in some talent. But guys, other than the draft, which I think I kind of have figured out a little bit, I've got to be the worst trader in the league. I'm terrible.
No.
I make some of the worst trades, and I don't pull the trigger on some trades that I end up regretting. But I can't really put anybody else's name out there until I put up at least a winning season.
All right, Higgy.
All right. I mean, I'm gonna have to go with Chad. I don't. I mean, I get what you're saying about Sean. I know he's struggled gameplay wise, but I don't think he's a terrible team builder. And as far as Chad goes, I mean, he had a great team, which will be demolished within the next couple of seasons. And he just seems to be going downhill. And the fact that he's just ghosts every weekend, he's definitely got to be the worst for me.
J-Mo.
Well, Chad also ruined my team because my girlfriend slammed the door. But this one was pretty easy for me, guys. And this is a crappy one to say because it was one of my favorite guys when I joined. It's Air V, dude. This guy took my Giants. Not only did he ruin them by trading away all their best players, he traded away Saquon Barkley to VBD, and he probably could have asked for the entire world, and he would have done it. You got to outsell the salesman, and he didn't do it. My Giants look destroyed, and that ruins his whole resume. His whole resume is in the shredder. It's a wrap. It's Air V.
Just in time on that. So the next one, shut up. Who wins the Super Bowl this year? And that's on you, Rob.
Well, I'm going to give my division a little bit of love. VBD has really played well. He's got a very stacked team. I mean, offensively and defensively, he's difficult to pass against. Barkley obviously adds an entire running, this guy's tough. I think he's kind of figured out Josh a little bit. He had some struggles with him early on, but he's kind of got him figured out. I think VBD makes a run.
Higgy.
Yeah, I mean, as much as I would like for VBD to win, it'd be a nice story for him. And I mean, he's always been up there, but he's never been able to get the job done. For the fact that he hasn't been able to get it done, I'm going to have to go with Tosh. Tosh is one of the hardest guys to stop that I've played. And he's still got an incredible team. And real life football season's over. So I think we're going to start seeing the best Tosh. And I think he's going to be hard to beat in the playoffs.
J-Mo.
Well, it's a copycat league. So I'm going to copycat. I'm going with Tosh, man. The Browns are rolling. If you saw my top 10 power rankings, Tosh has only lost one real game. One was a sim to Jared, which we hear about all the time. Team is stacked. They're ready to go. And he's got a tough division, tough schedule. He's used to playing the best. He's played lights out since he joined. So Tosh is my guy.
All right, Nick, close us out.
Easiest question of the day so far. Obviously, it's Coach Boone. No, I'm just kidding. It is Tosh for sure. Tosh is going to come away with this one because I think he's the only one in the AFC that will be able to take down VBD. He's proven it. They played 2 really close games before, and he did have a dev scenario, which does weigh in the back of your mind. It's not an excuse for losing, but I think he's the only one that will be able to scheme his way to slow down VBD. And then I think he, with that roster and that team and then his skills, I think he is able to shut down Brian or whoever is going to come out of the NFC. So I'm going to go with Tosh. It's just too easy of a road for him right now until some of these guys get their teams built up a little bit more.
Higgy, start us off on. There's that stud middle linebacker going the draft. So this is kind of a 2-part. It's where do you think he's going? So you kind of got to predict. Is he going first overall, and who is first overall then, if that's what you're saying?
Okay, I think it's going to be hard to say where he goes.
That's
I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and say number 1, and I'm gonna say that Sean trades up 1 or 2 spots wherever he lands. I think Sean will be in the top 5. I think Sean trades up to get him. He could definitely use him, and I think he's gonna trade up to secure that guy.
Oh, if he you think he's gonna have the draft capital to, as like some of these guys with multiple picks, to be able to go up and get him?
Yeah, I think he had. I think he might have players that maybe he can let go of. He's definitely got the ammo. If he falls in love with him, like I think he might, he can get the trade done.
All right, JMO.
Well, I don't know who this guy is because I've only been scouting second-round guys because I plan on picking 32nd. I'm picking 32nd, so I don't need first-rounders. But just based on history, we'll just have to assume that either Jack trades up and gets him in the top 5, or Nick uses his non-playoff picks to get up in the top 5 and get him.
Uh-oh.
Oh, God. That's minus points for putting that in our heads. Nick.
All right, so this is interesting because the 3 teams I would think have a shot are the Chiefs, the Bears, and the Bengals. The Bears and the Bengals play each other week 16, so one of them's out of it, and I think it's going to come down to week 17, and Robert is going to beat Sean, and it'll keep Sean's pick as the worst one in the league. So I think it's a no doubt. Sean goes with the middle linebacker, number 1 overall. He's like I said on the podcast the other night, he's taken 2 middle linebacking prospects in 2 of the past Maddens and made them XCFL Hall of Famers. So I think his dream is to take a middle linebacker at number 1, and this year he'll get a shot.
Don't try to suck up to him now. You just called him the worst user. What do you got for us, Rob?
Well, I think this was a no-brainer, guys. Ronald Vernon is destined to end up going to Air V's team. If you look at him on paper, he looks like he's going to be the best player in the draft, X-Factor superstar. Air V's is going to get him, and he's going to end up being normal development. He might be a high-rated, but he's going to be just like that corner from a couple years ago. So I guarantee Air V.
I like
Air
it.
V. Guarantee. Whoa.
Mark it down.
Does that put us, JMO? Who is winning most outstanding player this season?
All right, well, this is a good one, guys. So the obvious choice is Saquon. I didn't want to go with that because he won it last year. So I wanted to look at some other guys. So I look at the best quarterback. Also, Patriot Philip Rivers with a 31-8 touchdown, interception ratio at 22 sacks, which is by far the lowest. I'm like, all right, we'll skip him. Let's go to Derwin, who's the lead in the league in forced fumbles with 11 and 13 deflections. But he's also a Patriot. Get him out. Look at number 1 in interceptions is Gilmore, also a Patriot with 12 picks, leading the league.
Were you doing league-wide research or just Patriots research?
No, this is the whole league. He leads the league in deflections with 25, leading the league by 4. So I had to lean another way. And I like defensive players, so I'm going with Buffalo's Levi Wallace, who has 9 interceptions, 3 touchdowns.
There we go.
I love the research flex.
If you don't want a Patriot, it's Levi Wallace.
All right, Nick.
So I'm going Derwin James. No doubt in my mind. 11 forced fumbles. I think it's going to come down to that people don't like voting for the same player twice in a row, so I don't think Saquon has a shot. But 11 forced fumbles, 71 tackles, 4 picks. I think mean, the 11 force fumbles alone jumps off the page at you. The only reason he might not win it is because, like J-Mo said, he's a Patriot. But the last guy to win back to this is big points for me here. The last guy to win back-to-back most outstanding players was the Barry Brooks. So if Saquon's able to do that, he joins an elite club of people who have done that.
Very
Good
valid
stat.
point, but I'm in charge of the points here, so minus points for that. Rob.
I think it's going to be Joey Bosa. He's got 37.5 sacks. The Vikings are tied for first place in their division. With 3 games to go, he's probably going to end up around the 50 sack total. It seems like sacks are like everybody's getting them other than my team, but I think before it's all said and done, he'll be in the 40s, and it'll be Joey Bosa's.
Hey, real quick, let me correct myself. The last player to win 2 in a row was Malcolm Starkey, another Green Bay Packer.
Oh, wow. So false, fake news.
Negative points. Negative points.
More negative points.
Can't wait to get my negative point machine working. Higgy, what do you got for us?
Hands down, Saquon Barkley, man. He's going to finish with over 2,000 yards rushing. He's got 24 touchdowns right now. I look for him to add to that. So I'm looking for him to have 26 plus by the end of the season. Over 2,000 yards rushing. I think he's going to win back-to-back.
You didn't do your research because he plays Jags in Week 17. Nick, who do you look forward to playing the most in the XCFL? What user?
Oh, man. This is an easy one for me. I look forward to playing Mike Chadwick. It's the easiest game on the schedule. My guys get a ton of stats. You don't have to prepare for it all. You don't have to worry about him bringing anything crazy to the table other than drags and a couple deep shots downfield, and no defense. So it's one of those games, if Chad scores on you a couple times, it's not the end of the world because that just means I can score a little bit more. Or your defense can show up like mine did last time. You hold them to like 6 points and it's fun. But yeah, Mike Chadwick would be my favorite guy to play against because first off, the stuff leading up to the game, he talks this huge game, knowing good and well he has no shot to win, but he still is up there talking. So it's Chad for me.
Rob.
For me, it's Sean White. We were division opponents last year, and it seemed like we kind of went back and forth, and he won a few, and I won a few, and we kind of created a rivalry. Near the end last cycle, for some strange reason, we started getting in these crazy shootout games, and it seems like every time we play, they're just high-flying, high-scoring games. One guy goes up 14, next thing it's tied, and back and forth, and you never know who's going to win. So for me, it's Sean.
Higgy, what do you got?
I'm going to have to go with Doss, and I get to play him a lot.
Yeah.
But he knows me really well, and I consider him, one of the better, users in the league. I mean, he's been here a long time.
You had your chance to pick him for that, and you didn't. So
I didn't say the best. He's one of the better ones. So he's definitely a challenge for me because we play so often. He knows what to expect, and and I like a good challenge. So he's the one I look forward to every year.
I like it. J-Mo, finish us out.
All right. Well, I got 3 that I got tied up top. I got my boy Grizz up here. We have good conversations and like to talk shit in our games and stuff. And I also have a winning record, so that's great. I also like Jared. I talk a lot of trash to Jared. We play drinking games during our games sometimes. And I also have a winning record versus him. And lastly is another guy that I do not have a losing record to, which is our dear friend Nick. If we get rid of the door slam scam, we have a tied record. So he doesn't have a winning record versus me either. So these are my 3 favorite players.
Oh, nice. Okay, Rob, you will lead us off on so if we had a coaching hot seat, someone could get fired based off their on-field performance. Who's on the hot seat?
Well, I know Chadwick's name got thrown around a little bit earlier. He has a tendency to fade away on weekends and then return on Monday.
That's a nice choice of words.
So I don't know if that would ever get him on the hot seat. I feel like he's been on and off the hot seat a few times since I've been in the league, but that would be my vote.
Higgy.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree. Strictly for the fact that he's one of the harder users to get a hold of on the weekend. It's got to be Mr. Chadwick, and he's got what should have been a really good team for multiple seasons, and he's kind of going downhill since last season. So he's underperforming as well.
JMO.
All right, guys. Well, this one actually correlates to real life pretty well. A stacked team that hasn't really done much. A coach who played sports. We're talking about Van Flank with the Cowboys. But he's a coach that played the wrong sport. He was playing rugby. So his credentials don't even match up. So he's less than Jason Garrett. So it's Van Flank for sure.
I like it. Nick.
Oh man, it's 100% Chad. Only you can make an argument that it could be Sean because of the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes, but I'm gonna say it's Chad because Sean at least pops in chat and shows up and schedules his games. You had Deshaun Watson, you trade away JJ Watt. I mean, it's a mess. He tried to give DeAndre Hopkins away for peanuts multiple times, and we had to stop him. I'm gonna say it's Chad. And he should have been fired multiple seasons ago, even with the winning record.
For this next one, so say we were all real life coaches for our team. Based off the roster you have and the performance they've been getting at it, who deserves the coaching extension? And that's Higgy first.
I'm glad I get to go first, just to make sure nobody else steals this one from me. But this is where I'm going to give Das the shout out because he's on the way, making his second playoff in a row, second division championship in a row, as long as he doesn't lose any of these next upcoming games. And he's probably going to end up having the worst overall team in the playoffs for the second year in a row. And with that team, he's overperformed to this point, and I think he's only going to continue to develop this team even higher. So I definitely think he deserves an extension.
JMO.
This is actually pretty easy. I feel like we're overlooking one here. We got a guy that's on an interim contract. That's Herc is here, and he is here to stay. He's battling tough. He's got the AFC East, so he's got two perennial playoff guys. We got Robert here, who's leading the league in passing, somehow has a tight end break the 2,000 mark, which has never been done, I believe. Don't quote me on that. And led the league in catches and is still doing it with a different tight end. And Herc is in there, and he has a winning record so far. He's looking good, and he's on an interim contract. He just started, so it's obviously him.
Nice. Nick.
I'm gonna say Coach Boone. I would say at the beginning he was good on the hot seat like no other, and he has come off that hot seat and kind of proven everybody wrong. He kind of got ahead of his cap situation by dealing away, getting rid of. He got rid of Cooks, he got rid of Jared Goff, but he kept the two players he needed to, which are Aaron Donald and Todd Gurley. And he's doing it with he's got Viper at quarterback, man, and he sucks. And for Boone to even be close to the playoffs with that, he made the trade with him and Jack look dumb that everyone was yelling about. And he's gonna, he's gonna get into the playoffs here after he whoops on J-Mo this week. And I got to give it to Boone.
I'm gonna be honest. When I was marking him down, I just did tallies across the board, so there's gonna be no way to say how many points we were giving out on that question. So it's a learning experience.
Yeah.
Was that the last person for that round?
No, I'm last.
Yeah,
All right, Rob, close us out.
I'm gonna go with the Steelers, Jared. And the reason why I picked Jared is if you go all the way back to the team draft, everybody acted like the Steelers were going to slide because Tosh was going to take the Browns and Regan was going to take the Ravens, and that was two really good players, and nobody wanted the Steelers. And Jared jumped right on them, tuck them. He's made himself, viable for the playoffs year in and year out. and picked up Cousins. And to me, I think he's impressed me the most.
I like it. So we're gonna
Jared's
say
trash.
Hey,
this-
real quick, Sparty just beat Brian.
that's nice.
Big win.
We're gonna say we have Nick and JMO tied, and Rob 1 point behind them, Higgy 2 points behind the leader. And this
Ooh.
question right here is gonna send someone home for the last 3 questions. So
Shit!
it would be what?
There's a lot left.
Rob leading us off?
Yeah.
No,
I don't. No.
JMO leads us off. So JMO,
All right.
who's the most exciting team to watch in this cycle?
But this is great because we probably just missed the game we wanted to watch. That's Brian, man. Listening to those streams, like, forget the gameplay. Just listen to the audio on surround sound, and you got to listen to these clips and try not to take it personal because you will have nightmares. Your life will be changed forever. We probably just missed the best game of the year, so we have to go back and watch that after this game. Cheddar Goblin to the max. That's our boy. He's the most exciting team to watch.
You like it, Nick? What do you got?
I'm going with NWS and the Minnesota Vikings, man. He's got a rookie quarterback. He's got 2 white wide receivers running around out there, which you don't see anywhere. You got Delvin Cook there. He's got Joey Bosa as the defensive end with Neil Hunter. I mean, it's a fun team to watch. And like I said, a bunch of white dudes. I wish he would have got the running back Regan drafted because it would just be a really cool offense to see. Yeah, NWS, and you don't know how far he's going to drop back. He just keeps going. Sometimes you don't know if it's a 2-step. You never know. So I'm going to say NWS.
Rob.
I'm gonna go with Boone and this Viper trend he's got going on. And you could actually tie my question in with JMO. If Boone and Brian could ever face off, that's must-watch TV, hands down. Has to be broadcast every time that game pops up. But Boone's got it going on, and I'm going to give him a little love.
Both audio streams, absolutely.
Higgy.
Higgy needs big points here.
Yeah, he's got to try to sneak up on Rob here.
Yeah, I'm gonna go out on a limb here. I'm gonna take a risk. I'm not sure anybody would have picked these guys, but winning. We're talking about most exciting player to watch. When I'm thinking exciting in football, I like to see some passes, some catches. Don't want to watch none of that running stuff. And I think we got to go with the Bills and Josh Allen, who puts up big yardage every game in, game out, going to end the season with probably topping yardage. And that's exciting football.
Great answer. Great to have you on the show. We're gonna have to send the Broncos home at the first person.
Oh my
off the
god!
That was a bold strategy, though.
But he was only 1 point down. If you said the Jaguars, you probably overcome the difference.
Dude, that was a bold strategy.
Later, Higgy.
Picking the guy you're trying to catch. That's a bold strategy.
So now we'll reset the points here. There's 3 questions left. Most exciting rookie right now going forward. Who's the most exciting?
Who's up?
Who is up?
I think it's me. JMO just went first.
Let's do that.
So we're gonna go off the. I could sabotage JMO and take his guy, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna say out of nowhere, Nick Z drafts a safety in the 3rd round. Roland Wall, dude's got 8 picks. He's probably gonna win NFC Defensive Rookie of the Year. I just think he's going to be really fun to watch. I don't know if he devs into the best player. If we're talking about that, then that's an easy one. I'm taking Jack's corner he took, Zellner. He doesn't have a single interception this year, but we know no matter what, this dude's going to end up at probably a 90-ish overall player, and he's going to be a headache for us all until he drafts the next guy probably. But I'm going to go Zellner, Jack's corner.
Oh, okay. I thought you were
I'm gonna
going.
switch it up. I decided I'm going to switch it up and go Jack's corner because he's going to probably be the highest overall out of the 2.
Unstable choice. Makes you lose points. Rob, what do you got?
I'm going with Wild Bill Overbay. I mean, 3,500 yards. He's got 30 touchdowns. He's got his team right now tied for first place in his division. X Factor. He's got all the intangibles. This guy is going to be around the entire cycle. He's going to be a Minnesota Viking, Billy Overbay.
JMO.
All right. Well, Overbay's gone, so I'm just gonna have to take the offense or the AFC Defensive Rookie of the Year, which happens to be my outside linebacker, who is carrying his team to a 2-win lead on his division.
How many wins? How many
10
wins?
sacks, 5 forced fumbles. It's just good stuff over there. A couple deflections. He does it all. He's carrying the whole Colts team. They don't have anything else.
Okay. And then who has been the best division? Oh my gosh, the best division so far this cycle, and we'll start with Rob.
Well, as far as who's been producing, the AFC East, the division I'm in, you've got VBD and Josh, two really good players, battling back and forth, constantly in the playoffs. Josh takes the, division crown his first year. The second season, he ends up runner-up, but, he goes on and wins the Super Bowl. So I think the AFC East has got two perennial powerhouses, and Buffalo Bills are coming, so we're trying.
Very valid points. However, a division is 4 teams. What do you got for us, JMO?
Well, we got a restaurant that's a chain restaurant near my house called Rings and Things. And that leads us to the NFC West. We got Arizona and the 49ers, two teams that have won, consistently winning. You got Boone, who's generally winning 57% of his games or so. The other team has been in and out, but Blackpool's also been playing great when he's there. He's just been doing a lot of vacationing. NFC West, top to bottom, is probably the best division. If you put them head-to-head with anybody, they can compete. They have the best record up and down. 3 teams potentially making the playoffs, and their resume on at least the top 3 teams is great, and 1 team is still to be determined.
Okay, Nick, what do you got?
I got the NFC North, top to bottom, the most exciting division. Had a different winner. You had Pride go to the Super Bowl and lose. You had the NFC Championship game was actually Pride versus Riot. You had 2 of them in the championship game, or in NFC Championship. The year before that, we have NWS make a run, goes the NFC Championship. And I mean, Aries was competitive season 1. I think this division is going to be really good the entire cycle, and I think we'll see a different winner every single season.
Okay, change of plans. We're all tied at 4 points here. Let's do one more tiebreaker. Who's been the worst division so far this cycle? And we'll start with somebody different than last round. It's hard to keep track of.
I think it's JMO. Did Rob start that one?
I started the last one.
So it's JMO again.
So I wanted to find a reason why the AFC South wouldn't be in it, right? And it wasn't hard. Bro, we go right to the AFC West. This division is trash. They traded Von, Bosa, and Derwin out, who are dominating their divisions. On the field, they're all right. But their front office moves are just absolutely terrible and ruining the whole league. It's the AFC West. They're the worst division in the league.
All right, Nick, what do you have?
JMO was really good at this, man. It is funny. So far to date, it has been the NFC West. The NFC, my division, has been the worst division in the entire league. I think we've only had 1 team, which was me, over 500 the first 2 seasons. Which is, I mean, we've been good this year. It took a little while, but to date, my division has by far been the worst top to bottom, with only 1 team finishing over 500 both seasons. It's that simple.
Well, I'm probably going to get eliminated on this answer, but I'm going to say the AFC South. Mike Chadwick won this division. Okay? I have no other thing to say, but Mike won this division.
Oh no, that's absolutely correct. That'll get you into the last round. And I'm gonna have to go with JMO as well. He came out hot.
Later, Nick.
So wild card question. The final question is who would be the best 4 people at the same time to have on this show? And we'll start with Rob.
Okay, I say you go and you get Boone, Brian, Irek, and then you're going to need some kind of peacemaker. So maybe you have me as that wingman to be the peacemaker on it. But just to hear Brian, Irek, and Boone debate something would be priceless.
I like it. JMO, what do you got?
Well, first I want to say goodbye to Nick, just like I will in Survivor in a week or two. But this was pretty easy. I mean, you got to throw me on there. You got to have Jared on there. That dude is out of control. Mike Chadwick, out of control. And Brian G. We got to get the coach on here. We need some people that are uncontainable, unfiltered. Get it out there. Maybe get Al on here too to throw some stats in.
Nick and Higgy, are you still with us?
Oh yeah.
You got to help me on this tiebreaker here. Who do we have as the winner based off that last question?
I'm going Rob. JMO just picked a bunch of trash users. I'm going Rob.
What do you got, Higgs?
Yeah, I'm gonna go Rob.
There you have it. First winner of the show is Rob. So you got like 45 seconds here to say something random like they do on Around the Horn.
Okay, well, first of all, I believe strongly in the draft. To all the new owners out there, I'm telling you, the draft does matter. It's going to take a little time, and everybody's kind of questioning this upcoming draft. Combine scores are going to come out. They're going to prove everybody wrong. We're going to get some X Factor people going, and sooner or later, it's going to matter. So the draft matters. Poncho Power. I'm out.
Woo!
All right, great show. Thanks for coming on, fellas. That was awesome.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
Thanks.
Thanks, guys.